Hello, Creative Gems. Welcome back to Creativity. And if you're new here, I'm Sandy. Today we're going to dress up a couple of charger plates and transform them into beautiful wall sconces. Four different styles in total for only a few dollars. This charger plate will become the backdrop of our first wall sconce. To begin, I've got a metallic silver charger plate that is long and rectangular. I love this finish on the plate because it has a shiny, reflective finish, which will be perfect so the light from the wall sconce can bounce off of it. First thing I'm going to do is turn the plate over to the back because we'll need to add a hook somewhere to the back in order to be able to hang the wall sconce. Now, if you are familiar with my channel, you may have watched some of my craft videos where I made wall sconces. And if that's the case, you'll probably know I'm going to add a hook to the back of the plate. If not, you'll learn that taking hooks from the back of dollar store picture frames is a very easy and affordable way to hang pretty much any of the plates or mirrors that you craft with, and you can put it up on the wall very easily. Here I have a small Dollar Tree picture frame and it comes with two hooks at the back. So let's go ahead and disassemble this picture frame, and I'm going to cut one of the hooks out from the cardboard backing. And by the way, these are metal hooks, so they're extremely strong. I usually like to cut about 1 to 2 centimeters around the hook, and then to adhere the hook to the back of the charger plate, we're going to use two types of glue. And it's really important to use these two types of glue, so don't skip either one, and I'll explain why. I'm going to start with Fix-All, which is a super glue. They sell Fix-All at the Dollar Tree, but if you can't find it, E6000 or any other super glue will do. The point is to use super glue because it bonds very securely and permanently. The second type of glue that I'm going to use is a simply hot glue. And the reason why we want to add some hot glue is because the Fix-All takes hours to fully cure, so if I add some hot glue, that will cool and dry instantly so the hook will bond to the back of the charger plate right away. And then we can continue with the rest of the craft project without having to wait for the Fix-All to fully cure. Check that out. The hook is secured firmly and it's not going anywhere. Next, I have this Ferrero Rocher chocolate box. Of course, it's empty because I've already enjoyed all the chocolate treats. I'm going to extract the plastic tray that is used to hold all of the chocolate treats. I never throw these out, nor the boxes, because they're so much fun to craft with. On one side, you can see there are little circular compartments that are used to hold the chocolates. This entire side is gold, but flip it over and the other side is silver and the little circular compartments stick out. The entire plastic tray insert is flexible, as you can see, so what I want to do is curl it up a little bit like this and then place it onto the front of the charger plate. I have the silver side facing outwards, which matches nicely with the silver finish of the charger plate. Now, to secure the tray to the plate, all I'm going to do is use a little bit of hot glue and apply it to the sides of the tray where it will make contact with the tray, keeping the cylindrical shape of the tray. The hot glue actually bonds the two pieces together so easily and so quickly. Now we can leave this wall sconce as it is and just add our light source, and I think it would look quite pretty. But if you're familiar with my crafts, you'll know that I want to add some embellishments and bling it out. Here, I have some clear acrylic diamond shaped gems from the Dollar Tree. What I want to do is apply a gem onto the center of each circular part of the tray like so. To make sure the gem stays in place, I'm going to first use the tip of my hot glue gun and puncture the center of each circle to create a tiny little hole so we can stick the pointy end of the gem into it. I'll add a tiny bit of hot glue to each as well to make sure the gems don't fall out. And while I work on gluing these pieces, I would like to take a moment to thank you for tuning in to today's craft project. If you enjoy glam home decor and DIY crafts on a budget, please let me know by hitting the subscribe button. And if you like what you see today, please give me a thumbs up as well, so YouTube will continue to recommend my channel to other viewers like you. Okay, so that actually looks pretty good, don't you think? But I want to add some more embellishments. So I've got this silicone mold and it's got a few really pretty floral designs. I think people use these silicone molds for baking, but today I'm going to select a couple of the mold designs and inject some hot glue into them. It will only take a minute or so for the hot glue to fully cool, and once cooled, the hot glue will actually harden and you'll be able to easily remove the hot glue pieces from the mold. I think these pieces are so pretty, but they are a little plain because the hot glue we used obviously is just plain white hot glue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a silver metallic paint marker and I'm going to paint each of these pieces. And by the way, I know some of you are going to go and ask me, so I'll just mention that I have links in the description box of where you can get the silicone mold and the paint marker. And you'll find the links to a curated list of all of my favorite crafting supplies, tools, and embellishments in the description box in case you want to stock up for your own crafts. Okay, so I left these painted pieces for about an hour or so to dry, and this is what they look like now. I want to embellish the charger plate with these pieces, so I'll just add a bit of hot glue to the back of each piece, and then I'm going to stick one towards the top of the plate in the center, and then I'll stick the other one to the bottom of the charger plate in the center. So this is what the wall sconce looks like now. And if you decide to make one of these yourself, you'll be surprised how lightweight this is, which will make it very easy to hang. But before we do that, I'm going to add a light source to this wall sconce to make it fully functional. For that, I have a rechargeable puck light. It comes with a self-adhesive magnet that sticks to the back of the puck light. So what I'm going to do is peel away the wax backing from the magnetic piece and then secure it onto the charger plate somewhere in the middle. And by the way, this puck light is motion censored as well, and it also comes with a remote, so we won't need to hook this wall sconce up to any electrical wiring at all. And here's the final look for our first wall sconce. I have the wall sconce hung vertically, and during the day when it's bright enough that you don't need to turn on the light, the wall sconce is a beautiful piece of wall decor. But when the sun goes down and you want to light up your space, the wall sconce will power on and you can see the light shining through. The gem pieces we added really give this wall sconce more visual interest and style. Make two of these and place it on either side of a large painting on top of your fireplace and your entire space will look really upscaled. Or place one or two of these wall sconces in your dining room for mood lighting while dining with friends. Now, let's continue crafting because I have a few other wall sconce designs I want to show you. Here I have another charger plate. This one has a beautiful golden glitter finish. I really like this shade of gold because it's not too bright and not too yellow, and the glitter finish gives it a nice shimmery look. So just like we did for the first wall sconce, I'm going to take the second hook from the Dollar Tree picture frame from earlier and secure it to the back of this charger plate. I won't bother showing you that though, since you've already seen how to secure the hook from the first wall sconce. But in case you missed it from earlier, feel free to go back to watch that part again. The next thing we'll need to make our second wall sconce is this metal easel, also from the Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree sells these metal easels in two sizes, so make sure if you make this wall sconce, you grab the smaller version. This metal easel has a chrome finish, which I think will give our wall sconce an upgraded, more high-end look. But what I'll want to do is reshape this easel so that it bends at 90 degrees. You'll need a little muscle to bend this since it is metal, and if your hands are not that strong, you could try using a wrench to help hold the easel. So I think this looks pretty close to a right angle. So now I'm going to place the long side right up against the back of the charger plate like so. I'll want to secure this metal part directly onto the plate, and the best way I can think of doing that is actually setting the metal part onto some wood, because it will likely be a challenge to adhere the metal directly onto the plate since the surface of the plate is a plastic material. So I have some leftover wood pieces. These are actually like really large popsicle sticks. So they're very flat and very lightweight, perfect for what we need them for. I'm going to cut two pieces to fit onto the back of the plate. And while I work on this, I would be curious to know if any of you out there are crafters or DIYers yourself. Comment down below with the words DIY and let me know what you like to craft or what you like to make. For me, y'all know I love to craft, but what you may not know is that as a DIYer, I also love doing home rental projects. In fact, I have been thinking about showing you some of my home rental projects, but I'm not sure if I should create a separate channel for that or integrate those videos into this home decor craft channel. If any of you are interested in seeing my home rental projects, the cabinets I have remade, the shelving that I have built, let me know down in the comments whether I should integrate those types of projects here on this craft channel or showcase the home rental projects on a separate channel. So I've gone ahead and glued each piece of wood to the back of the charger plate using both Fix-All and hot glue. And now I'm going ahead to glue the metal easel directly onto the wood pieces. For that, I'm using both Fix-All and hot glue as well. As I mentioned earlier, while we were making the first wall sconce, Fix-All is a super glue, so it will provide a very secure, firm hold. I've added some hot glue as well, so we won't have to wait for the Fix-All to fully cure to finish this wall sconce design. It looks like I may have gone a little overboard with the hot glue, so I'll have to wipe that off right away. And now if we flip the charger plate over, this is what it should look like from the front. We're going to set this aside for the time being though, so we can work on the second part of this wall sconce. Here I have a clear, tall, and cylindrical vase from the Dollar Tree. This one is made of a very thick plastic, but if you have a similar glass one, that will work as well. First thing I'm going to do is pull out some silver chrome card trim and apply it along the opening of the vase right at the rim. The silver chrome card trim is self-adhesive, so no glue is needed unless you want that extra hold. I love crafting with the silver chrome card trim because it has a mirror-like finish, which matches a lot of the home decor crafts I like to make. And it's also flexible, which means it's easy to apply around corners as well as around circular items like this vase. And so once I'm done the rim, I'll do the same thing towards the base of the vase. And by the way, if you want to stock up on the silver chrome card trim, it comes in a really big roll. You can check the description box for a link to it if you want to get a roll for your own crafts. Also, just to let you know, I did end up adding a tiny dollop of glue to the ends of the trim just to ensure that they don't come apart over time. And here's what our second wall sconce looks like. I placed the vase right on top of the easel located at the base of the wall sconce. Inside, I set a rechargeable puck light, which, as I mentioned earlier, is motion censored. It also comes with a remote as well. This wall sconce design is actually quite simple, but with the golden glitter finish on the charger plate, it actually shimmers when the light illuminates onto it. Now, the base where the vase is sitting on is pretty small, so if you have a larger vase, you'll want a larger platform for the vase to sit on. Well, I have a very quick and easy solution for that. Here I have a square wooden piece, and all I'm doing is applying a silver rhinestone trim to the sides just to bling it out a bit. The silver rhinestone trim is self-adhesive, and you can cut it to size according to the number of rows you need and the length you need. for the top of the wood piece, I'm going to dress it up a bit. I have a piece of mirrored contact paper, which I'm going to measure out and cut to size. And when I reveal the mirrored side of this paper, you'll be pleasantly surprised at how closely it resembles a real glass mirror. But the beauty with this is it's as thin as paper and can be cut to size and shaped with a regular pair of scissors, as you can see here. Now, let's go ahead and peel back the wax backing so we can adhere it to the wood piece. I'll go ahead and remove the blue plastic film. It looks so real. The reflective finish is almost just as good as real glass mirror, but at a fraction of the cost, and it was so easy to craft with because you can easily cut it with scissors. Let's go ahead and place this mirrored wood base onto the easel. It actually sits perfectly on it, but I'll want to secure it so that it doesn't fall off when we place the vase onto it later. I'm just going to mark up the metal easel with a paint marker, and then I'll place the mirrored base back onto it so it can make an imprint of the markings onto the bottom of the mirrored wood base. That way I'll know exactly where I need to apply the hot glue. And here's the wall sconce with the vase sitting on the wood base now. There's enough room that you could place a larger vase there if you wanted to. Now let's go back to the craft room because I want to show you another design for this wall sconce. I have another empty Ferrero Rocher box, and once again I'm going to remove the plastic tray insert from it. Similar to the first wall sconce we made earlier, we're going to want to curve this into a cylindrical shape, but this time to hold the shape in place, we're not going to hot glue it to the charger plate. In fact, when we're done with this plastic tray sheet, the vase is going to be inserted inside. So to keep our tray in the cylindrical design, I'm going to be poking 4 holes, 2 towards the ends, and then the first hole will be about an inch down from the top, and the second hole will be about an inch from the bottom. And then we'll repeat the same steps on the other side. The holes don't have to be large at all. They only need to be large enough so we can fish through a string of clear monofilament, also known as fishing wire. So what I'm going to do is tie a knot on one end first. Now we're going to place the vase onto the plastic tray with the gold side facing outwards. Then I'll take the other end of the fishing wire and loop it into the hole on the other side and then tie another knot. Then I'll do the exact same thing on the other end so the entire length of the vase is wrapped inside this Ferrero Rocher plastic tray. In essence, this Ferrero Rocher plastic tray will become an outer cover for the wall sconce. Not only that though, you'll see later that we'll be able to slide the vase out and swap the cover out for a different cover to change things up. Okay, so we finally have this vase wrapped up. It was a little difficult to get all the knots tied up, but they're done and you can't even see the fishing wire at all. I'm just snipping off the excess fishing wire. It was tough to tie the knots, so I cut out extra long pieces to make it easier to get the knots tied. And here's the final look for our next wall sconce. I've placed the rechargeable puck light inside the vase, and take a look at how beautifully the light shines through the Ferrero Rocher cover. I love how the golden tones of the Ferrero Rocher cover matches so beautifully with the gold glitter charger plate, and when the light hits the plate, it actually shimmers. And here's what the wall sconce looks like powered on after dark. It gives a really nice glow and lights up the wall area perfectly. I think this wall sconce would go perfectly hung in a hallway, or if I made two of these, I could place one on either side of an entryway. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. In the meantime, I mentioned to you that we could swap out the cover for a different cover design. So let me show you how I'm going to do that. Here I have a bath mat. It's pretty large, so I'm going to have to cut it to size. What I like about this bath mat is that it has a mesh-like design and it's also clear, so it will be able to let a lot of light through if we were to use this as a secondary cover for the wall sconce we just made. So just as we did before, I'm going to take the vase and wrap it in this bath mat. But of course, this bath mat is way too large, so we'll need to cut it down to size. So here I'm just figuring out how much of the bath mat I need, and then I'll go ahead and mark it up and then cut it. Here, I'm just using a marker to cut out the shape. I decided to keep it as a circular shape for the beginning, but if you prefer, you can cut it out as a regular shape. It doesn't actually really matter which way you go, as long as you can wrap the vase in the bath mat. And then later, I will trim the bath mat further to get rid of any excess. Okay, so let's see if this fits. It looks like the bath mat is able to wrap all around the vase, so that's good. Now I'll just do a few small adjustments and then I'm going to go ahead and trim off the excess. On the bottom, I'll actually keep the bath mat as is, but I'll cut off all the excess from the top so there's a straight edge all around the opening of the vase. And now, just as I did earlier, we're going to use the fishing wire to secure both ends of the bath mat together, both towards the opening of the vase as well as towards the base of the vase. And while I work on that, comment down below with the words wall sconce and let me know if you have any wall sconces at home. And if you do, did you buy them or did you make them yourself? For me, I never used to put up any wall sconces in my house because I didn't want to have to run any extra electrical wires up the wall. But since I have discovered rechargeable puck lights, it's been a game changer for me. Now I have wall sconces everywhere in my house and I just love them. And it's so easy to change things around because I can easily take one wall sconce down and hang up another one to give my space a new, fresh look. And for the wall sconce we made today, it's even easier because all I have to do is keep the wall sconce hung up on the wall and just swap out the cover. So now that I have the bath mat secured and wrapped around the vase, you can see that it's looking pretty plain. The bath mat has a nice mesh design, but it's clear and colorless. So I'm going to go ahead and add some embellishments to it. And here I've got two options. I've got a bag of these small circular stick-on mirrors, which actually looks to be just about the same size as the circles you see on the bath mat. The second option I have are these acrylic rhinestone buttons. See how there's a tiny little hole on either side of the button so you can sew it into, say, a pillow? And looking at them, the buttons are a perfect size to place onto the circles of this bath mat. So I think these buttons will look really nice, so I'm going to go ahead and choose these. I noticed how the bath mat circles are indented on one side and on the other side it sticks out, and that's because they act like mini suction cups to stick to the bathtub. Well, that's actually perfect because the buttons have a pointy end, so I'll be able to hot glue them to the side of the circles where it is indented. Look how beautiful it already looks. From far away, these buttons actually look like crystal gems. And by the way, you can find bags of the circular stick-on mirror tiles I showed you earlier, as well as these beautiful acrylic rhinestone buttons online. I'll leave links to them down below in the description box. So I decided I'm not going to embellish the very back because no one will be able to see it anyhow. But the front looks pretty good. And here's the final look after I swapped out the Ferrero Rocher cover for the bath mat cover. This wall sconce looks so pretty and quite unique. The light from the rechargeable puck light shines through beautifully, and it was so easy to make this wall sconce, and I can easily change up the look by swapping out the covers. And here's what the wall sconce looks like powered on after dark. It's actually pretty bright. I'll have a link to the rechargeable puck lights down below in the description box, but if you prefer candles, you could also insert a battery operated candle inside instead. Comment down below with the words wall sconce and let me know which design from today you liked best. The first one was made with the silver side of a Ferrero Rocher tray liner glued to an embellished silver charger plate with a reflective finish. The second one was a silver rimmed vase placed onto a gold glitter toned charger plate. The third one had the golden side of a Ferrero Rocher tray liner wrapped around a vase, and then the last one we swapped the cover out for another one made from a bath mat and crystal buttons. If you enjoyed today's craft tutorial, please like and subscribe to my channel and share with other creative gems. Also remember to hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I have another DIY glam project on my channel.